All right, folks, in this tutorial, I'm going to talk about how I make extra money as a real estate photographer, and that is by offering virtual staging. Virtual staging, because AI is getting so good, is literally replacing the old way of doing things, which was to hire a stager to come in, kind of like Chip and Joanne Gaines do. You know, they have a big warehouse full of stuff, or they go shopping for different furniture, different pieces to fill a room before, like a lot of realtors would hire somebody to come out and fill a room. And you could see right here, this is the virtual staging demo. I'm going to show you some of the work that I did, why I chose this website, and the pros and some of the cons with it, which they're not deal breakers at all. We'll talk about pricing and everything in this video. So this is what the home screen looks like. There's going to be a link to this website down below in the description so you can find it real quick. But it's just virtualstagingai.app. And so real quick, I had a realtor inquire about virtual staging, whether I offered that or not, because she said she was going to have to hire somebody to stage a house if I couldn't do that for her. And while I'm on the phone with her, I'm doing a quick Google search and I found this site. I uploaded a photo to it and bang, it looked amazing. I actually kicked it over to the realtor as a demo, as an example. She said, love it, it's awesome, let's do it. So she booked me for like the next 3 jobs. They have vacant houses that they just purchased that they gotta shoot and virtually stage. So I'm going to show you why this website's awesome, how it actually is kind of geared for realtors, for the MLS, for real estate photographers and all that. This is the home page. We'll talk about pricing in a second, but here are some examples in the demos. So how it works is you basically pay a month, or you can either do monthly or yearly. I just did the yearly, and real quick, I'll show you. I know that's a lot of people's minds. Is it even affordable? And the answer is absolutely 100% yes. For a whole year, now I get 20 images a month. Okay, so I've already used 12. I charge $5 an image. So I've almost paid for this already. I've only done one job. The first job I did, I got an extra $50 out of the job because I only charge $5 an image. So if we go to change plan, I'll show you. I'm on this plan. It's literally only 95 cents a photo. So if you charge $5 a photo, I think that's a happy median there, because you're saving the realtor money because they might not have a ton of these to do in a year, and so they might not want to spend the $230 to actually purchase this themselves. But I will show you how simple this is to use. It's awesome. And you only pay, now this is another thing to remember, you only pay for, or you only use your images. So I have the 20 images a month plan. You only use or burn through those images when you actually download the image. So let me show you here. Here's a bedroom. This is like a downstairs bedroom, and you get to choose whether it's a bedroom, a living room, kitchen, bathroom, office, dining room, kids room, or outdoor. Those are your only choices right now. I'm assuming as things get better, as AI improves, as AI is improving by literally like the day, it seems like. If you've been using Photoshop for any length of time, you know that like their generative fill is getting really good. AI has just come a long way in the last 5 years. But here's the other thing you do. So you tell it what it is, whether it's a bedroom or a living room, dining room, that kind of thing. And then you tell it whether it's a farm, like the style of furniture you want, standard, modern, Scandinavian, industrial. And now if you say you pick mid-century, or let's do farmhouse, for example, you can change these and go through these as many revisions as you possibly want. You're not going to actually burn through your photos until you actually click the download button. Now, I'm going to run, we'll do farmhouse, and I'll show you that example and I'll show you how fast it runs too. So you can see this is the blank room. This was how it generated the furniture. It looks pretty awesome. You can see kind of like around the furniture, kind of like how it softens it almost. I just noticed that today. But when you go to click to download, you can add download with watermark or download without watermark. And this is important, especially if you're into real estate, you're either a realtor or a real estate photographer, you're going to want to use the one that says download with watermark. What that's going to do is it's going to put a watermark down here that says created with virtual AI. I think that's what it says. And the reason is because if you don't have that, MLS requires you to have also, the realtor would also have to upload onto the listing the actual photo of the blank space, okay, or the empty room. So, but they don't have to waste that if the image says created with virtual assistant or virtual staging, okay? Just throwing that out there. Okay, so let's say we don't like this. I believe this one was the standard. Let's try farmhouse. We'll just hit create more. It's going to generate down here. I'm not going to edit this video. We're just going to let it run. And I'll just keep yakking as this is doing it. So it gives you 3 examples at a time. So after this example, I will show you some of the flaws that you have to be careful with, when it produces its AI. But it does a pretty good job. I mean, it puts shadows where shadows need to be, that kind of thing. Depending on the complexity of the room, and I'll get to that in a second, where you have multiple rooms, it actually has the ability to do that, which is pretty amazing most of the time. Like, again, AI is getting better and better, so this website, I believe, is going to be the go-to website. I've searched on Google, and this was like, they're ranking number 1 on Google for a reason, because they're so awesome. But, okay, I like this one. I like the farmhouse look. Okay, and you can tell, like, the actual image had the sun shining, so it didn't mess any of that up. It actually puts light there. See, look at that. It puts the light on the wall, which makes sense. It should do that. Otherwise, that would look super fake. And the shadows behind the photo on the wall, or the picture on the wall. And then, there you go. I even like that. Let's go back. I'm going to show you where it was an issue, a flaw issue. 2 things so far that I've noticed. Okay, this is the first one I did. See if you can catch it. This is the photo that I submitted as an example to the realtor. And so I'll give if you haven't seen it yet, I will show you. And it is right here where it filled in this. It deleted part of the wall. Now, big deal, right? It just adds another step to your workflow. You have to upload this one and this one as layers in Photoshop, and then just paint back where the wall is, and it looks amazing. I don't have that example readily available, but that's all you got to do. So you need to understand how to use layers in Photoshop to fix an issue like that when it does that, because you need the original to paint that back in. All right, the other thing was, and actually it was pretty smart, we did this image. The realtor wanted me to, you can see how it just deleted the whole kitchen, but they wanted me to, in the house originally had like a couch here for the TV, this little seating area. So after a few tries, it actually got it. It was this one. So every other one, it deleted some of the kitchen and added other things. Like, obviously that's not going to work. You can't just rip out the kitchen. That wouldn't work. But this one, where is it? This one worked. Now, the only other thing I wanted to do, and I did in Photoshop, I took Generate a Fill and deleted this TV there, because the TV was already on the wall. So we don't want to delete the TV that's on this wall, because it was actually there. So we just deleted the one that the AI generated, and that was it. And I delivered that. So I think that's all I wanted to say about this. But like I said, I charge an extra $5 an image. It's going to pay for itself. I mean, if you feel like you're getting inquiries, or better yet, just another thing to offer, for your real estate photography and help you get work, because I literally have just had another offer come in today, which made me think about doing this video. I was like, I got to tell people about this. I just had another realtor say, hey, I got a job coming up. I see that you do virtual staging, because I posted the before and afters on Facebook, and people are like, wow, that's amazing. Especially if you're not in the business, you don't do this all the time. People are fascinated by this stuff. One other thing I want to talk about, and again, this is where we're just going to have to wait it out and see where AI is going, is a room like this, okay? I wanted to have like let's just see. Yeah, it didn't have like a game room or an option where you could kind of click and tell it put a pool table there. I tried to do that in Photoshop using generative fill and just it's not there yet. That's what I'm saying. AI is good, but it's not where we can just tell it put a pool table here. So let's run another example. Let's just do kids room, see what because this is like a downstairs. This could be a play area for a kid. And let's just try farmhouse. Well, you know what? We've seen farmhouse. Let's see what in coastal. Let's just see what kids room in coastal looks like for this one. So maybe this will be enough, of a help to whether or not you want to go through and actually use this for your business or not. And again, you can see here on the chair, it looks a little faded where AI is trying to put maybe a shadow there and it's not quite looking right. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to give the potential buyer an idea of what the empty space could look like. Really, that's what it is. And if you do your research, and this is how I actually market myself, is you tell people, tell the realtors, you're going to have a, 15 to 17% faster sale. You're going to be able to get more money for the listing when you use virtual staging. But okay, let's see what the kids room and coastal looks like. That looks pretty cool. Okay, it's kids room, meaning it's going to put a bed in there. But again, this could be a bedroom. That's whatever. Yeah, blocks thing. I mean, you just got to make sure it's not deleting anything that's supposed to be there. Like if it's deleting a window or something, you just got to be careful about that. Because here's another example. I did this. This actually was Photoshop. I went through and deleted everything. This was a storage. This is part of like somebody's attic or like a finished attic area. But it had a ton of stuff in it. And I said, well, I can try deleting everything in Photoshop so you don't have to clean it out. So I didn't have to come back. And then, of course, we virtually staged it. But notice the window right here. So you got to be careful you don't choose something like this. Well, actually, that wouldn't be that bad. Or this. You might not want to put a TV over where a window would be. Just got to pay attention to that kind of thing. To me, it does an awesome job. Clients have loved it so far. Like I said, this is just about paid for itself. In this next job, it will probably pay for itself because it's a completely empty house. We got bedrooms, living room, dining room, the whole nine. So again, leave me a comment below. I would say check this out. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.